Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I am Amira and this is Little Space on the internet. I am chatting away today about my work in progress. I haven't been on YouTube for quite a while. If you have been following me, you probably noticed that I haven't posted for a while, so I thought today would be a great day for me to just post what I'm working on right now with quilting, and then if according to plan, I'm actually going to go through some of my UFOs, unfinished objects, the things that I've actually put in bags here. So they're not like work in progress because I'm not actively working on it. I probably have left it for a few years or probably a few months, but I'm going to go through with it. Might be shockingly a lot because I didn't even count how many projects I have at one time, but some of it is seasonal and I feel like I just leave it there until the season comes. But anyway, I have a few work in progress to share with you first. And if you are new here, let me just introduce a little bit of myself because I haven't done this for a while. I mean, I haven't been on YouTube for a while. It's probably something changed because I just wore braces. It's been a while because I feel like not recording. You just feel like, you know, sometimes it does take a lot to actually record. I have to set up all the lightings and everything, and I just feel like it takes a lot of my energy. But I feel like now I'm ready to kind of like do that again. I am so excited. I've been watching a lot of YouTubers in the quilting niche as well, and I've been inspired by them, and I think I'm just going to come back here and just share with you guys all the quilting stuff that I'm working on and chat about quilting stuff, because I am so blessed to be on this internet world to actually be chatting with you, and I'm so thankful that you are here. So if you are here, leave me a comment down below just saying that you are here, because it's so amazing to actually have someone to talk to, and I'm just like so blessed to have you here. Let's just get to a little bit of introduction about me. Like, I'm probably a bit all over the place because I haven't been on talking to the camera for a while, so you are going to bear with me, please. Right, so I am Amira and I live in Malaysia right now. So Malaysia is actually, probably most of you are in the US or in the Europe or wherever you are probably way away from me on the other side of the world. I am in Malaysia, in Southeast Asia, close to Singapore if you've been to Singapore. And I've actually fell in love with quilting in 2011 when I was studying in Australia. So I did my PhD in Australia at Canberra, in Canberra. I fell in love with quilting the moment I entered the quilt shop. So it was like so beautiful. I've always been sewing all my life. I think I've been sewing since I was 9. I've been sewing garments, little cute doll dresses and everything. But when I saw quilting in real life, I saw quilting before in my mom's book. But then when I saw quilting in real life, I knew that I wanted to do it. So that's when I fell in love with quilting, and I started quilting in 2011 when I was studying on a small budget, and I just make it with what I have. In case you're wondering as well, English is not my first language, so I might have like different accent, because I'm just like when I watch somebody with a different accent, and I tend to kind of like follow it. Right now I'm just going to mention as well, I am watching Rachel, Stitch with Rachel. So she's been posting a lot on YouTube, and I've been inspired by her as well. In fact, I've been inspired to actually follow one of her so long, which is it's hometown so long. So I might do that as well. I might record it. I might record the video to go with it as well, because it's an applique, one of those quilts that I wanted to try but I haven't tried yet. So I might just get on with it while Rachel is also doing hers. So it's kind of like, you know, we're doing it together sort of like thing, but it's not. Probably she doesn't even watch me, but anyway, I'm tagging her because you should go and watch her video. She's very inspiring. Of course, she has a British accent if I'm not mistaken, but you know, I don't have an accent. I tend to actually follow people because it's my second language. It's just sort of like the thing that I kind of pick up. But just to note as well, I've actually been to England when I was little, so I did grow up there when I was 11 until I was 13. So my father did his study in Bradford, UK, and we did grow up there as well. So that's where I started learning English, and then I come back here in Malaysia. We kind of, because we learned English when we were little, it's sort of like the things that is come to nature as well, like it's a second language that's very close to us as well. So we do use a lot of English as well, as opposed to the first language that we have, which is Malay in Malaysia, of course. And then I went to Australia and we use English again, and that's a different type of accent, but it's like really kind of mix all together, and that's who I am. So I might like stop a lot when I'm talking, because I'm trying to kind of like find the words for it, because it is kind of hard, especially like when I'm talking to the camera, it's kind of relaxed, but when I'm talking to a person in real life, sometimes it's kind of like intimidating. I feel like I need to digest what they're talking about, and I have to reply at the same time, so it may be awkward if you ever met me in real life. So I am a little bit of an introvert extrovert sort of like thing. I need to take time to kind of like digest and then think about what I'm supposed to be. Like, I tend to not be myself. Like when in front of the camera, it's easy for me to kind of be myself, but when I'm outside and about, I feel like I need to kind of be who am I? I need to be like this sort of thing. But anyway, that is some of the things. So if you're here actually for the quilting stuff, I am going to put down below the chapters, so you can actually just skip to the chapters where I talk all about my work in progress and all that. But you know, sometimes we just talk about the things that we have in mind. So I am also a mother of 3, so all my kids have kind of grown up since I actually started. So I started with my only son when he was 4 years old, and then 3. Yeah, he was 1 actually. He was 1 until he was 4 when I was in Australia, and now we have 3 kids. They've all grown up with me kind of quilting, but I think now that my youngest one, which is my daughter, she's already 5, I feel like I have more time, and I'm feeling like I have more time in my sewing room. So that's why I feel like it's time again to come back to this YouTube channel, to kind of share with you guys my progress on quilting projects, and also share with you more tutorials or something that I feel inspired to do. So let's get started with some of my work in progress. So right now it's actually in March, so we are today is 15th of March, is Saturday today, and I'm just going to chat with you some of the work in progress that I am currently actively working on. I do have a couple of projects, because I tend to actually jump from one project to another. Depends on what my mood is, because I only sew like in pockets of time. I work full-time. I am a lecturer at a local university. I teach physics, which is not that rocket physics, so don't count on me on that. Like, I'm just teaching a lot of material. I do love physics, I love the theories behind it, but I'm not that good. Okay, I feel like I'm not that good. Anyway, so I love teaching, and that's why I've been teaching some classes as well online, because it's just close to my heart. I love teaching. I love getting to really teach in depth about certain things. So that's why I am here as well, kind of like trying to chat away about all the things that I've learned, because I am kind of like a learning person, and then I teach it so that I can actually learn better. So in the past few weeks, I've been working on a couple of projects, and one of them is actually the large Dresden quilt. So this project has been quite a while. I think it's been a year. I cut all of the pieces when I was making an organizer bag. So the organizer bag is also a video on my YouTube channel. You can actually look at that. And then I knew that I wanted to make a quilt from it, so I did cut all of the Dresden pieces, and then I sewed all the Dresden plates, like each of the plates, and then it sat there for a long while before I actually put this together. So this couple of weeks I've been putting this together. So I think in the past 2 weeks I did this. So I got 4 of these done, because that was the only fabric I had for. So these are pretty large. I think there are 20. Let me just measure them. So there's no pattern. I am making my own pattern. but the template, they're 20 each. So the template is actually a Missouri Star Quilt Company template. I'm going to put a link down below if you're interested in it. It is exactly perfect for a layer cake, and then you can make this really large Dresden. It's about 20 inch. So I am going to put it on a 24 inch square, and I'm going to try and do a quilt as you go. So that's my plan. I'm going to quilt as you go each of the block, and then I'm going to piece the blocks together. So the block is going to be alternating with a panel. So this fabric line comes with a panel. I'm going to show you the panel. So here is the panel that comes with, it doesn't come, but it is in the same line. So it's a beautiful panel, but these are very small. So these are actually just about 10 inch. They're about 10 inch. So the block itself is actually 20 inch. So I'm going to have to make it bigger. I'm going to put a patchwork border around it, and then it's going to be one block that is going to be alternating with this. So I hope I'll be recording it so that I can share with you guys the progress on it. So I am currently recording like a vlog of my week of sewing. So I hope to post that soon as well. So this one is going to be alternating with this. And this one will have a patchwork border around it with the leftover fabric from this line as well. So that's my plan, and I'm going to do a quilt as you go, meaning that each block is going to be quilted, because the point is that I wanted to kind of like quilt as you go this as I apply it down onto the background. I am going to quilt it as well. So that's the plan. I haven't thought fully how I'm going to do that, but that's the plan. So I hope when I'm doing it, I'll be recording it so that I can share with you guys. So that's one of the projects that I worked on. And then another one is, I think this one was probably a month ago. I think I did this in February. Yep, I did this in February. So I'm just going to show you guys, because this is still one of the active work in progress that I think is this year. I worked on it this year. I mean, this year has already gone to March. It's like so fast. I feel like I thought I was going to do this video in January so that I can, like, you know, start the year with the work in progress, and then, like, you know, kick off videos again on YouTube. But it's already March. But I'm going to do it anyway. So here is the one that I actually worked on earlier this year. I'm going to show you guys. Ooh, so I'm really happy with this one, because it turns out so beautiful. It's so sweet. It's not my usual colors, but I am all over the place with colors. If the colors are pretty, I would work with it. So this one is a very soft pastel colors. It's so pretty. So I did all the blocks, I think, in the past 2 years, because these are from the book. I'm going to show you with the book here. So these are from the book Summer Memories. So I think maybe last year or into 2023. Let me see. This is 2023. I'm not sure when is the publication of this. But when this book came out, Fat Quarter Shop actually did a sew along, and I started then. And then I started making the blocks, and I continued making the blocks even after the quilt along kind of finished, because I didn't get to do it together with them to finish it in time, which is fine, because I like starting things with the quilt along, and then I tend to actually finish it later, which is fine. It's okay as long as I know that I'm having fun. I think that's the point of it as well. So I'm so happy that I have actually gotten it to the almost kind of like finished. So it is already completed with all the blocks, and the blocks actually consist of very small pieces. And I use triangle papers for this to make it easy, because there were so many house square triangles, right? There's so many house square triangles in this one. I love this kind of project because it's not all the blocks are the same, so I don't get bored with it. Like, there are some of the blocks with different types of baskets, and then this one you can see there's a different kind of basket. It's so fun. I love this kind of a similar but kind of different. It keeps me kind of interested with the quilt, so I do enjoy this. I enjoyed it very much. And the pattern in here also uses a stripe border. I'm going to show you that. So that's how it looks like. It uses a darker color, so mine is actually in different kind of like I used a teal color and peachy, and whereas the Susan actually used a dark blue and a red and pink. So kind of different but kind of the same. And I also use a diagonal stripes, whereas in here it actually uses a straight stripes, but it looks kind of the same. So now where I am at is I am going to put a border on it. Now I'm not a big fan of putting borders because this is like, I'm not a big fan of stitching when it's already big. Like I need to pin them, I need to kind of like do a long straight stitching. I'm not a big fan of that thing. That's why I tend to actually procrastinate on those stuff. Like at the end I kind of procrastinate on getting it done, whereas it's almost done, right? So I'm gonna put the border on. So this is the fabric that I chose. So I'm using all of this from Stash, so it's just a mix and match of fabric in Stash. I sort of like search for all the colors that kind of match. So this one is going to be the border, and this is a cute border that also has the same colors, so I'm pretty happy with that. As I go through all my work in progress, I'm gonna sneeze a lot, and I just did, because you know there's lots of dust in this sewing room. Alright, so this is the border that I picked, and it's just gonna be perfect there. Like, it's so cute. So I'm gonna get this done, and then I'm going to baste it, and I'm going to quilt it. I'm just going to go with a simple all over quilting. So that's what the plan is. Now you're going to hear me with my nose. Alright, so that is something that I just need to actually get done to the finish line, and then I can baste it and I can work on the free motion quilting on it. So another one that I have been working on in the past few months is my long forgotten UFO, which is the king size aviatrix quilt. I started this I think in 2014. Now it's 2000. Oh my god, it's been 10 years. Has it been 10 years? 2014, 2025. It has, hasn't it? Can't believe it. I mean, I don't really mind having quilts that takes forever to finish, because I don't need any more quilts like really instantly in my home, because I have a lot of quilts to use. But I just want to enjoy the process, and if it takes time, it's fine. I mean, like I don't work on it every single year. Like I think I didn't touch this at all last year, and this year I am trying to again put hopes into getting it to the finish line. But I did actually progress on this, so I want to show you that. So I did finish another little border. So this one I custom quilt using my machine. Of course it takes forever, but I am super happy with the process itself. It makes me kind of like enjoy the process, because I pick what I want to do for each of the patterns. So this is a beautiful quilt. Now the thing about this as well, why I'm not working on it, is because I don't really like the colors. I don't know why, but I don't like the colors of this quilt. It's just not my colors. So I am going to try. I already have 2 big borders. I think I have 3 big borders left. So we have this border, this little borders, and then one, and then the last one, and then I'm done. Right, so right now I am doing this border, the big border. So I'm going to show you what I did. So here is so this is the border that I'm working on right now. So this is what I did. I did this kind of like center, and then some pebbles in the middle, and then I just traced along this side. I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to complicate things, but I am going to fill up this area here, so that it's the density of the quilting is going to be the same with all the center part as well. I don't want to have it like, you know, less dense or anything, so I want it to have something similar. So that's what I've done with this border. I think I am already up to
a couple. I'm already up here. No, not too bad. So I already done one side full. Right, I have another side. I have 3 more sides, and then I'm done with that. I do want to kind of cover this one and do something there so that it has something quilted. So that's where I am at. So we'll see. So I actually put it here where I can see it. So whenever I feel like, you know, putting on a free motion quilting foot, and then I would actually just go ahead and do a couple more blocks. It's not that bad, but once the quilt is on there, it's sort of like I have to work on it before I can do any more piecing. I do have another machine set up, but I like this machine for piecing and also for quilting, so I only use this. This is my workhorse. It's Janome Horizon. I'll put a link down below. It's my baby. It's my baby. It does everything for me. So that is one of the things that I worked on. And then I have one of this that I actually made progress on. So I'm going to show you that. So I think last week I kind of picked up some of the pieces. Now these days my rule is that I want to just come in the sewing room and just pick up anything. I want to do something. Like every time I come in the sewing room, even though I have like 10 minutes, I said to myself, I'm just going to pick. I'm not going to think, because sometimes the overthinking is a lot more. Like I spend a lot more overthinking than doing the thing. So I'm just going to take action. So I'm just going to pick one of the projects and I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to, you know, reminisce on how much projects I have, like being overwhelmed. I'm just overthinking. I'm just making myself overthink about stuff. I'm like, oh, there's so many things and this and that. And then I end up just scrolling. So I feel like these days I'm just coming in, I'm just picking up. I don't care. I'm just coming up into the sewing room. I'm just going to pick up whatever I have in the sewing room and just do something. Sometimes I clean up, because I think cleaning up the surface area is important for me to just get inspired. And probably I just cut a new project, which I did this week. I'm going to show you that as well. That's one of the work in progress. So I have pieced all of the blocks pieces. So that's what I did, and this comes out from my head. It's like, I'm not going to overthink. I know this one is like probably summer patriotic. I'm just going to go ahead and do it, because by the time I am going to use it for patriotic, which is over here in Malaysia, we celebrate our Independence Day in August, which is similar to in the US is July, and then I like get inspired to kind of like sew all the patriotic stuff, and then I get to use or display my quilts in August for our Malaysian Independence Day. So this is, I'm gonna get this done by this year, because I've already got all the pieces done. I need to trim it and then put it together. So this is a pattern from Missouri Star Quilt Company. It's called Double Periwinkle. It's quite an easy quilt actually. So I am making 9 blocks. So the pattern actually calls for 12 blocks. It's a beautiful pattern, and I love the quilting on this. I'm probably going to do something similar. I'm not sure really. Can you see it? Bop, bop, bop. Oh gosh. Oh yeah. So you can see the quilting. It's beautiful. So I'm probably going to try and do something similar. So that is a progress. A progress is a progress. No matter how much it is, I feel like I've moved it instead of just like tinkering on it, because I know already what I need to do, but I'm like tinkering, what project can I work on, and you know, all those stuff. Alright, so another project that I am actually really excited about, because I recorded a whole video of how to do it. It's the jelly roll spinner. So this one is a jelly roll quilt, and it's a free pattern on my blog. I'll put a link down below as well for the quilt pattern. And I made it with ombre colors. This is my first time actually working with Vanessa Kristen ombres. So she has a lot of collections in ombres, and this is one of it. This is, I think, is confetti, and look at how beautiful that is. It's like you get like a shine. So when I put it like this, it looks like you have like light shining, like so this part is shining. So that is So that is where it is right now. It's basted. I am going to quilt it this weekend. So the plan is I'm going to quilt it this weekend and then have the video edited, and then hopefully in 2 weeks time it's going to be here on YouTube. So if you want to see that, make sure you click subscribe and like this video, and also click on the notification button, because lately I've been seeing that even though I followed someone or subscribed to someone, their new or latest video doesn't come up on my feed. Like, I have a lot of, the algorithm is just crazy these days. So the back of this quilt is also a pattern. It's also included in the pattern. So this is the quilt label that I have. Is it right? Is it wrong way wrong? Oh my god, can't believe I did it wrong there. So the back of the quilt is a leftover strips, and then I sewed in the label. So this label is already in my stash. I already have a lot of labels. It's running out, so I need to print some more. If you're interested in making your own labels, check out Quilt Label Wizard. Oh, self promo here. I'm gonna put a link down below. So this is the label that I chose for this quilt. So the back is just a white. I feel like a white is just going to make that pop out. So that is that. So that is that. So I have a couple of that, and my last work in progress that I did just this morning. This is from the book Periwinkle, from Fat Quarter Shop and Lori Holt. They are currently Fat Quarter Shop. I think they have just started. I think this video is going to be out while this quilt along is starting, so you can actually check this out. They are doing a sampler quilt with all the patterns in here, which is fun. I am probably not going to follow along because I am not interested in making any sample quilt this year, but I might just make a few of the quilts in here a little smaller, probably into a hot pad, a table runner, or placemats, you know, something small that I can actually just finish. So there's a lot of quilts in here. It is super thick, definitely worth checking out. So I put a link down below as well. I am currently making, so I think I am good with kicking off the sew along as well. So I'm going to try and follow them in terms of the block making, but I'm not making the sampler quilt, so it depends on which block I'm interested in making. So currently I'm making this table runner. But this table runner is quite big. It measures 72 inch by 24 inch. So I'm not going to make the whole thing. So what I'm going to make is probably just 16 blocks. So there are, right now there's 6 and 6, there's 12 blocks. So I am just making 8 blocks. Yeah, that's right, I got it wrong. So I'm just making 8 of the blocks. So I'm just making it smaller here. That suits my table as well. So I think that's one way to kind of like work with projects. Sometimes you don't have to make the whole project as is. So I tend to kind of change it accordingly to what I have in my stash as well. So the pattern actually calls for a layer cake, and I only had 2 charm packs, and I made it work. And I'm going to show you some of the blocks that I've made. I haven't pressed them, so they are freshly made here. I usually press my blocks after I got the block done. So this is some of the blocks. So you can see, because I'm using not a layer cake, I'm using charm packs. I only had fabrics for this and also this, and I need another fabric for this, so I just kind of like pick a different fabric for that. And sometimes I pick from my stash. I'm going to show you the one that I picked from my stash. So like this one I picked from my stash, so I picked the color that is similar. So it's a bit scrappy, but I think it's worth it. Like, I don't need to actually have a layer cake to get started. You know all the overthinking. I'm like, I like this pattern, I don't have that, and I need to go and shop, and then I tend to shop faster than I actually sew, and then I get overwhelmed. I think that's the thing. If you're feeling the same, please do say that I'm not alone. Please do leave a comment so that I feel like I'm not alone in this case. But if you're not, please don't judge as well, please. I love this. I love this craft because we get to shop, and it's a different hobby as well to actually go ahead and look at fabrics and then dream about the things that we can actually make with them, which is interesting as well. And also I love diving into my scraps as well, because there's still a lot of fabric that I can actually use, which is one of my favorite things as well. So these are some of the blocks. I've made a couple. So that actually just came in from just 5 minutes in the morning or 5 minutes in the afternoon. So that can come out. So I'm not overthinking these days. I'm not overthinking of what am I supposed to do, how much time do I have to actually sew, because the moment I think about how much time I have to sew, and I don't even come into my sewing room. So nowadays I'm just like, even if I have 5 minutes in the morning or in between cooking, I'm just coming in and just doing whatever I have on the table or on my sewing machine, whatever. I'm just going to not think about it, just pick it and just sew it. So that has been working very well for me. So if you're being in that kind of like cycle, if you're in the busy season, if you're taking care of someone, if you're in that busy season, I would suggest you do the same as well. Like, just take 5 minutes. Just remember that you don't need half an hour or 2 hours or a whole day of sewing to actually get things progress. You can just do things in small batches of time, and the point is just to enjoy yourself and to be immersed in that, because this is a joy of quilting. And I think it's just like, even if you just get one little block done, you should be proud of yourself and like enjoy it. This is your, I call it my me time. Like, when I'm done with this, I feel like, I did something today. You know, I did laundry as well, but it keeps coming back and I feel like I'm not doing anything. Who else feels that? Oh my god. Anyway, so that is all that I've actually worked on, work in progress wise. I am going to be sharing with you more on unfinished objects, in which I am not, I didn't actually prepare for this. I am going through my unfinished project with you. So if you are interested in that, continue on watching. If you are not, please do like the video and subscribe, and then yeah, so we'll see you again on my next work in progress. But I'm going to be talking about unfinished object, which is still quilting. So stay on if you may. If you have the time, if you're actually sewing and quilting right now, please do stay. So I have my work in progress, or quilt unfinished objects, or like projects that is already worked on a little bit, all in project bags like this. And I do love this system because it keeps everything tidy, and all of them in one bag. So I'm going to pick through some of these and talk with you what is my thoughts on it and what it is actually, so that I kind of remember as well what it is, because I've kind of forgotten some of it. And I'm not going to count how many I have, because I do have a lot of unfinished objects, but I don't mind, because sometimes when I finish a project, I do come back to it, and I know that it'll be worked on some days. So I'm going to pick one of it. Alright, some of it is actually kits, so I'm not sure whether I'm going to be talking about the kits. It'll take forever for me to actually talk about all the things, all the dreams and all the things that I've actually wanted to make. Oh, these are all kits actually. These are all kits. Let me see. Alright, so let me see here. These are kits as well. Oh my god, I have a lot of kits. Okay, so let's just come in. I have a lot of fabric, I know. I have a lot of dreams, I have a lot of projects that I need to get done. But so very little time. But maybe someday I will get to it. So let's go on to my first UFOs that I have. This is one that I'm excited about because I'm coming back to this in fall. This one is a quilt I designed myself. It's sort of like a autumn leaf falling. So I got really excited working on this, but I didn't get it finished last year or last 2 years. Last year. So last 2 years. I think it must be in the fall last 2 years. Yeah. Oh my god, time just flew really fast. So this one is actually made of a Drunken Path. So I used the template from Missouri Star Quilt Company as well. And I'm done with the quilt center. So this is how it looks like. I absolutely love this one because I'm using like Robin Pickens collection from that fall. It's beautiful. It's like rich colors. It's warm, rich colors, and I paired it with a dark cocoa or brown here, and it just feels like it pops so well. So I can't wait to get this done. So it's almost done because the quilt center is done, but I'm just thinking like I need to put a border on. So I did pack it in with the bag, the border. So this is going to be the border. I picked this like the fabric that has a lot of oranges on it, so that's going to be the border. I'm going to put a border on and then it's done. So that is going to be my fall quilt. So I probably get it done before fall itself. So I'm just going to show you the fabric. Look at the fabric. It has mushroom on it, so how can I resist? I love mushroom. That's why my blog is called The Little Mushroom Cat. So that is the plan. So I am going to fold it back because otherwise I'll get messy. So in it goes into its project bag, and I am going to come back to it possibly in July so that I can get it done before fall season. Now we don't have any season in Malaysia, just so you know that. We are in tropical season. We are always summer and rainy, which is amazing. I love it. But I do kind of like get the vibe of the season because I tend to live on the internet. I tend to live with all the Instagram posts, and I tend to actually get inspired by the season. So that's why I'm trying to finish this by this season of autumn as well. Next, so my next UFO is actually a designer mystery from Fat Quarter Shop. They've come up with a new designer mystery for this year. So this one is for 2023. So I didn't join for 2024 because I haven't got this done yet. But I'm going to show you some of the blocks that I made, which is starch, and it's freaking beautiful because when you starch it, you can handle the fabric better. So this is what I've done. I think I've done 8 of the blocks. So there is a couple more that I need to do. But I am not a big fan of the finishing. I'm not sure, but I don't want to think too much about it because I don't want to, like, you know, put more thoughts onto it. How am I going to do it? Might as well I just need some kind of like mindless sewing, mindless cutting, just following the pattern and all. So that's why I haven't moved it. So this is another one. So I'm not really a big fan of the pattern itself, but I think I'm just going to go with it. Like, just get it done, right? So that is the plan. So that is with the designer mystery. It does come, I did purchase the finishing kit, so might as well just make it with the finishing. So that's how it looks like for each of the blocks. It is kind of beautiful, but I don't know, when we put it together, I just feel like probably the dark background. I don't know. I fell in love with the dark background when I saw it, but I'm not really sure now. I feel like it's so repetitive. I'm not sure. Probably I just wanna, I don't know. I feel like this center there is quite big, like just a big empty block. I'm not sure. So that's the overthinking part of me, kind of like stalling me from doing stuff. So that's why projects get like changed. That's why I kind of like love like jumping from project to project, because sometimes I do feel like this resistance, and then if I come back to it, sometimes I might just get it done, and then I love it anyway. So that's most of the time, that's how my project goes. So the next project is the one that I need to baste and just quilt, which is the mystery quilt that Fat Quarter Shop did as well last year or the year before. So this one is a beautiful kind of like medallion style. The pattern is still available. I'll put a link down below. So I finished it. I'm just going to quilt it. I did saw one in Instagram on Facebook, which they did another border on top, which is beautiful. I can make it bigger. This one's like pretty small, but it's a lovely wall hanging, so I'm probably just going to finish it as a wall hanging. Again, it's kind of like seasonal. I tend to do these colors when it's kind of Christmas. We don't celebrate Christmas, but I tend to kind of like stitch things that is in season. So again, I might just get this done before December. Alright, so I have all this might. So hopefully that this might will come to reality. I don't know whether I have time for that. So let's go to my next project. So my next project is my UFO. It's not really a UFO because I've actually been doing blocks every now and then, but I haven't touched it this year. So this is my ocean wave quilt. So I have quite a stack of it. I am going to make a king size quilt with this because it's all made of scraps, and I have all the scrap pieces, tons and tons of half square triangles to actually put into these blocks. So I have a free, I'll give a coupon for free down below if you actually want to make this, and a couple of more scrappy quilt blocks. So if you want that, you click the link down below and use the code that I actually put there, and you can actually get the booklet, which is filled with some of the fun scrappy quilt blocks that you can actually make with your scraps. So I'll put the link down below for that. So it's a booklet with lots of scrappy blocks that you can make. So this is how it looks like. I'm going to put an image here how it looks like on the design wall. So I've got a stack of this. So this one is continuing. Probably another 2 or 3 years I get it done. I'm not really like pushing it as well, but I love scrappy quilts. I think my favorite has to be scrappy quilts on my bed. I just love how it looks like on my bed. It's a lot of work actually, because it takes a lot of work to do scrappy quilts. So for those of you who does a lot of scrap quilts, I really respect that, because it takes a lot of work doing scrappy quilts, because you have to pick and match, and then they're mostly tiny quilts, tiny little units as well. So yeah. So I started this quilt when I saw Katie's of So Tattered. She does a lot of floss tube, and she does beautiful quilts and also beautiful cross stitch. I'm going to put a link down below if I remember to do all these things, that I put a link down below to her YouTube channel, because she's one of the inspiring YouTubers that I follow. She made this quilt, and she made it I think in the same color way. It's beautiful. I saw her quilt and I knew that I want to make mine. So I decided to make mine in scraps. So I made mine in my own scraps. So I've made a lot of the pieces. So this is how far I've gotten. I'm actually using all the fabrics that I have in my stash. I didn't buy any stash of it, but I'm not sure whether the colors is mine. But I tried to actually keep the colors the same to this, but it's just not as rich as this. So not sure how it will turn out, but that's how far I've gotten. I didn't even piece any of the blocks. I just got all the units, which is consisting of a lot of little pieces as well. So that is how far I've gotten with this. I guess I was like, oh, there's so many pieces to this. There were so many pieces. There were like little tiny pieces, like 3.5 inch by 1.5 inch. Yeah, so I kind of put it away for a while. I love the finished quilt, but I'm not sure I enjoy the process. So I will try to get back to it, because there are stacks of fabric that I've already cut. All the pieces in this tray, it's already cut and it's dusty now. Like all the pieces, all the that tiny pieces. Look at that. That's just like so tiny. So I've got it all pieced together and in trays, ready for me to work on it. And then I sort of like give up on it because there were so many little pieces. I know. But I will get back to it. I'll get back to it someday. So that is it. I probably have to put this in bags because they're really dusty now. So if I'm working on it, I am going to get sneezes, right? So that is that. Let's look at some more. Okay! Oh my god! Alright, so I am going to open up this one. So this one is a blockhead 5. I did a couple of blocks, which is a pretty blocks. Look at that. Look at the colors of that. Like, this is my colors. I love this. I love this. Love this. But that's all I got. Like, I didn't even follow through all the blocks. So what I'm planning with this, oh, I also made a big blocks out of it. Like, I made 2 blocks. I made the small blocks and I made the bigger blocks. I don't even remember. So here it is. Oh my god, that's so pretty. I kind of like that again now. But I don't think I want to continue on. What I'm going to try and do is finish off with what I have. I'm going to try and think how I'm going to finish this off. Maybe 2 different quilts. This one can be a mini quilt, which is so cute, right? So I am going to try and see what I can do with that, because I've forgotten about it. I think it was the 2023 blockhead. I have all the fabrics in here. So that was one of the projects that I actually started and never got to finish. But it's okay. I did enjoy it. I know I did enjoy it because the blocks are pretty. So that means I did put in time and, like, you know, press it. So I must have enjoyed that. I probably have it on the blog as well. Sometimes I put this on the blog. That's why I have a blog. Like, I recorded the process because it reminds me back of the joy that I actually enjoy, the things that I actually did, and what my thought process around it. And that's why I love kind of chatting about quilting, and I love listening to other people chat about their quilting journeys as well, because the chatting and all the thought process is an interesting part for me. So let's move on to the next UFO. So I have another project that I don't even remember I started. I think this is the year of, like, starting stuff. And like seeing things and once started. So this is actually Corioders. I think it was a free pattern at Coriander Quilts patterns, and I've cut all the pieces, and I've like being organized with it. Like, I put the pieces in the file. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, that was one of the things that I didn't get to sew any of those, so that's why I don't remember. I probably just had time to actually just cut it, and I put it all in this bag. It's there if I want to work on it, and the pattern is in there as well. So I think I might just, you know, use one of those days that I said I'm just going to use 5 minutes or 10 minutes to just quilt anything. I'm just probably going to pick that up and just sew 1 or 2 blocks since I've already got it cut. So let's see what else. Okay, here. So I think these ones are all kits, which is like a dream project, someday project, which I'm not going to go through today in this video. It's going to be way too much. It's going to be a lot of fun for me because it's like dreaming. But this one is one that I've neglected for so long, but I love it. Like, every time I look at the pictures that I took when I was making this, I was like, why didn't I get that done? I think it's because I'm stalling, because there's a part of it that involved me doing some appliques, which I wanted to do, but I didn't. Like, I think I am. I'm just going to put the top together and then get the pieces for the appliques. So this one is, I think, 2022 or 2021 or 2020. Back in the days, I was in Quilt Show, and then the Quilt Show online membership, and Edita Sister did a block of the month, and this was the block of the month. It's called the Barnstar Quilt. Barnstar Quilt. I think she has a pattern. If she has a pattern, I'll put a link down below as well. And I made mine using scraps, like not scraps, but my stash of blues. And it's all blue quilts. I did have a photo of this. I am going to put it here, but I'm just going to go through some of the blocks. These were made with love. I enjoyed every minute of this. Like, I love making sample quilts like this, because they are consisting of like a couple of the same blocks. I love sample quilts like that, rather than having like each one of the blocks is different, because when you put it together, it's kind of like have some cohesiveness. So I love this kind of like patterns. So these one are actually 6.5. I'm just going to measure. It's 6.5 inch block, which is kind of small, but kind of not too big and not too small. I mean, Edita Sisters love like small, intricate piecing. She does amazing work. I love her channel as well, Edita Sisters, and her fabric is just delicious. So there are tons of blocks here. I've done all the blocks. I think there was hundreds of blocks in here. So I'm just going to put together into a top and, you know, get it done already. Get it done. Look at that. That is so cute. And I love that I used all of my stash from it, because then I can see like from all different types of collections that I have. I sort of like pick from all the fat quarters and just like take all the blues, kind of separating it. That's kind of an anxiety on its own, separating fabrics from the collections. It is hard. Alright, so let's go and move on to the next one. Alright, my next one is actually a free pattern. I'm going to put a blog post to it as well. I've got it done, all of the blocks. I just need to put it together into a quilt top as well. I'm noticing a trend here. I tend to not put things into quilt top because that's like my least favorite part. I don't like it. I love making all the blocks, but when I have to actually put it all in rows, it starts to become larger and I have to piece all these long seams, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And that's why I've been stalling on putting this into quilt tops. So I have this, and I think I've already got it into a stack. Yeah, I did. So I've got it like into a stack here, pinned. This is one row. I just need to piece them together. I'll put an image and the free pattern. I'll put a blog post to it, like I talk about this. So I'm not sure. This one is has no season. I might just get to it whenever I feel like piecing a quilt top, which is very rare because I don't like piecing like long seams. But I'll get to it. I did enjoy making the block itself because it was really fun. It's a fun technique. It's really easy. So check that out because it's a free pattern on Fat Quarter Shop. Alright, my next one is another unfinished objects that I think I am just going to put aside and start over. This one is a Quilt pattern, and I bought this collection because I thought I'm going to do something different, like, you know, the collection is all browns, whites and oranges. This one is Lela Boutique, and I think it was like for like a masculine kind of like sets, and I did started. Maybe I got the wrong pattern for it. Like I wanted to do this curve piecing using my Quilt Go. I cut all of the pieces. I haven't cut all of them actually. I just like went through. I did have a piece that has to be pieced, but not all. I was doing some test block, which I'm glad I did because I don't really like it. I don't like the process. So I've done a couple. I don't really like the process of that. I'm not sure the block or the piecing. It's curved piecing. So the idea was that to have one dark background, one light background, and then you kind of alternate it. Or is it the colors? I'm not inspired by the colors. I don't really like browns. So why did I buy it? I know, sometimes I just feel like the whole collection itself is beautiful. It's beautiful. And I was like, I need to actually get out of my regular colors and try and do other colors. But this is what happens. Like I tend to not work on it. So why did I start? Why did I even buy it? Like I don't fancy brown, and I bought browns. So I have all this collection. So I'm putting this aside. It's all starched as well. I know it was the season of starching for me, which I like starching. So I don't know what's this going to be, but it's not going to be finished. So what I'm going to do with all the finished block, I'm going to put it aside. I'm going to put it out right now. I'm going to piece it all together. It's going to be a table runner, or it's going to be whatever it is enough for. So that's done, and then I'm left with like fabrics that is not cut yet. So this is ready for a new project, probably something simple so that I can get it done quickly without hating the fabric as much. The fabric is gorgeous, by the way. The fabric is beautiful. I mean, Lela Boutique did beautiful patterns with it. I think I should have just picked one of the patterns as well and just work with it, right? Because that's the best. When you don't really like or fancy the colors, you should just stick with what the designers have come up with, because you fell in love with the whole quilt idea. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look back. That is a collection from a few years back, so I'm gonna look back at the patterns and probably pick one of the patterns and just work with it, or maybe stack it on a giveaway. By the way, I actually do have a giveaway for this, so if you stayed here, you're in luck because I have a giveaway. Alright, so I have this stack of fabrics to give away. This is like a collection from that quilt that I made. So there's still a tons of fat quarters that I didn't even cut yet, but I'm going to give together with some of the scraps left over from the cuts that I did. So if you want to win this, just comment fat quarters and I'll pick a winner before my next video. Now I will announce the winner in the video itself at the beginning of the video, so that you don't have to watch the whole video for the winners. But I would not email you anything. I would not comment on your comment, so that we can remove all this spam stuff, right? So comment fat quarters and I'll pack this nicely. Like this is right now is in its state, like after a project. So I pack it nicely and probably through a couple of few things, and then I'll send it to you. So you can be anywhere in the world. I would pay for the postage as well, so you don't worry about that, right? So comment fat quarters and I'll send this your way. This is going to be a perfect Christmas project for you because it's beautiful. This is the fabric that I did. I think that's enough to make this quilt as well. So this quilt is actually a free pattern. You can get that, make it in your own colors here. So comment fat quarters and I'll pick a winner in my next video. So let's continue a little bit more. I think I don't have any much more. So I'll just have a look down here. There's a lot of kits. Kits. What's this? Kits. Oh, okay, so all of them is kits. Oh my god, I don't have that much actually. So I do have a couple. Where is it? No, I don't have any. Oh my god. I do have a couple of table runners that I want to kind of finish off, because that is going to be in my upcoming pattern bundles. So we want to wait for that, because that's going to be a fun way to actually use up all the little charm packs that you have around your sewing room, all the little charm packs that you actually bought at the counters, because I tend to do that as well when I went to quilt shop back in the days when I do have access to quilt shop, real quilt shop. Nowadays I just shop online. I either shop, I list down below all of the shop that I usually shop from. Until then, thank you for watching. So if you want to win the bundle, please do comment fat quarters, or just like comment anything, like what you're working on, how many work in progress you have. I didn't even count mine, work in progress and also UFOs, but I was kind of surprised it's not as much as I thought I would have. But I do have some quilt tops to be quilted that is not in here. It's still an unfinished objects, but I don't count that, right? Because it's done. It's basically done. Alright, so until next time, thank you so much for watching. I am so blessed to have you here. I am so blessed. You can't tell how much I feel blessed to actually have you. Thank you so much. I'll see you again in the next video. Until then, happy quilting. Bye bye. What's his name? So tattered. I'm gonna find out. Is this a UFO? I'm not really sure. Is this a UFO? I have a folder in it. Oh my god. Am I gonna show it?